So this is going to be an instructional slash overview video of the brand new 2025 Bailey Adamo XL DL. This is brand new to the 25 range, just come out now. First of all, we're going to go in around the external of the vehicle, and then we'll go in the habitation and cab area. This video is just to highlight where all the main components are in the vehicle, like your drain valves, etc. This vehicle is in the middle of its PDI, so has yet not been valeted. So now we will go around the external of the vehicle. As you can see, this vehicle has been fitted with an awning. I will send a separate link on the email how to set up and use the awning. First thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. And the reason for this, one, just so you know how to open the bonnet, but then two, if you ever need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, you'll need to get access to the bonnet area, as your positive and negative terminal points are here. So because this is a Ford, you need to use the vehicle blade key, and that is inserted here. And basically what you need to do is you twist to the left once, that releases it, and then you need two hands for the next part. You twist to the right and hold to the right where you lift up with your other hand. So as you can see, I have now got the bonnet open. Like I said, the main reason for showing you this is because of, in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, if the battery is obviously gone flat in storage, etc. So down here we have got your positive terminal point, so you just need to remove this red cover here. That is your positive terminal point. And then your negative terminal point is just going to be that silver eye hook there. Just need to clamp onto that, is your negative terminal point. And then obviously underneath we have got your screen wash here in front of the driver. So now we are going to carry on around the external of the vehicle. We'll start at the passenger door. If you open the passenger door, down here you will see your diesel fill, and then directly below that in this cover here, that is going to be your AdBlue fill. You do need to open the passenger door because it is locked into place by this tab here. Well, we have got the door open. The passenger and driver's door do have blackout blinds, so you just need to pinch this tab here and then slide the blind across, and then they meet at the end on a magnetic strip. And then once finished, obviously do the same in reverse, just slide them back into place and then make sure you clip them into place. Just be gentle with the blinds because they are delicate and they are expensive. Front window has a blackout blind as well. You do need two hands for this. There's a handle here and a handle on the other side, and you can slide that all the way up, or you can, as you can see on this rail here, so you can go to the top up here, and then you've got a quarterway so you can let some obviously daylight through as well. Driver and passenger are swivel seats, so you've got two levers here. So this big bar here, this lever here, is just like a normal car seat in effect. This is going to move your seat forwards and backwards, and then directly above that you have a little a lever here. You just need to pull that out. So when you pull that out and release, you need to hold it out, and then you will then swivel the seats. Once you are wanting to put them back into obviously travel mode, all you need to do is swivel them back, and then they will clip back into place. You'll hear this mechanism click into place. Here we have your mains connection, so when you're at campsite or if you're charging at home, this is where you will connect onto. Next we have your toilet cassette. So if you want to empty and clean your toilet cassette, to release it, all you need to do is lift this orange tab up and pull that cassette towards you, and that will then release. Once you have got your cassette out to empty or clean, to empty it, what you need to do is this orange nozzle here, twist it to the left and then take this grey cap off here. If you lift it up to empty it out, if you put your thumb on this button at the top, hold down the button, that aerates it, lets some air in, and then obviously the fluids flow out a lot faster. Also, you can open the blade here and clean internally with a hose pipe if needed, or obviously you can put your chemicals into there as well. Once finished, all you need to do is realign it, and then the main thing here is to make sure that this orange tab is securely down. Then your toilet cassette is not going to move while in transit. The last locker on the passenger side is going to be your ski locker, or as I like to call it, your surfboard locker, because you can remove this table shelf here, and then obviously you've got full height to put tall items in this locker. If you leave this down, this is in effect a hanging wardrobe internally, so you open this cupboard internally, and then obviously you've got hanging wardrobe as well here. Directly right at the top we have got obviously a manual aerial, which is on a rod. You just adjust that nut, push the pole up in the air, so that's your height, and then you can spin it around, and there will be an indicator on the control box for when you have got a signal. Green is obviously solid, and then in red is obviously weak signal or no signal. Got a lot of stuff in the garage area. Got your bed ladders, got your fold away removable table. That's great because obviously you don't need to have a table always set up, as well as you can have the table outside. Got obviously all this stuff to make up the dinette to berth. In the front area we have got two 40 mains plug socket here and a 12-volt socket. And then, just so you know, this is on a magnetic thing. This is quite a strong magnetic holder, but some of these are actually clips, and I was going to highlight if this was a clip one to make sure you push it in, otherwise you can potentially break them. To shut these and lock these, all you need to do is twist this 180, and then if you put the Habitation blade key in there, twist 180 again, that physically locks the Habitation doors. So now we are on the driver's side of the Habitation. So obviously you've got access in here to your garage space as well. These cushions here are to make up the single travel seat under the bench seat internally. So this is actually a 5 travel motorhome. So that is the cushion you would use when you are making up that 5th seat. Here we have your freshwater fill. So this is on the whale system. Basically you connect onto this mechanism here. You'll have a whale hose pipe with this vehicle. You connect onto it, connect onto the tap, turn the tap on, and then obviously that will fill up your fresh water. Obviously the main thing is, which I'll show you internal, is obviously you are putting the drain bung in your fresh water, otherwise your fresh water tank will just empty straight away. Here we have your boiler flue. Keep this clear at all times because it does get quite hot. And then directly below that, here we have obviously your grey waste release. It's a push and pull rod, so if you push it towards the van, that is closing the blade, so that is then obviously your grey waste tank is closed. To release it when you want to drain it, pull the rod, and that will obviously release the contents. As you can see, there is a cap dangling there. That cover cap does go on the end of the pipe, or obviously you can leave it dangling, or a lot of people do take that cap off because obviously the blade is shutting and opening. So if your grey waste is not emptying, just check that that cap is not on. Here we have your LPG locker. So you can fit 2 tanks in here. And then obviously we've got your gas regulator just there. So you can fit 2 6-kilogram tanks in here. And that is everything external wise on this vehicle. So now we are going to go into the habitation area. We've got a fly screen, blackout blinds, and you can purchase a Bailey umbrella which fits on this here and then straps in here, so you can have a umbrella on there. So now we are in the habitation area. Currently this customer is having a microwave fitted, so you can currently see obviously the door being removed to get ready to be fitted. As soon as you come through the habitation door, we've got some controls on the panel here. So this one up here is your master control for the habitation. So this is doing obviously your 12-volt system, your lights and your water pump. So you turn your master on and off from here. Turn it back on, and we can go through some of these settings. So you've got some settings you can change: display, sound. You can calibrate the water and waste tank. Sometimes the sensors get thrown off, so you might need to recalibrate them. You got fill tank. So what the fill tank is basically you can fill up from an external water bud in effect. You just need to buy a separate whale connection for that. A lot of people don't really use this, but obviously it is an option because the separate connection for the whale pump, basically it's got a built-in pump when you are trying to fill up your fresh water tank from a water bud. You've got your battery select, so we've got leisure battery, and I can press enter here, and now I'm running the motorhome off the vehicle battery. Obviously you don't want to do this all the time. You want to make sure you are on leisure battery, because if you do drain your vehicle battery, then obviously you won't be able to start the engine. But it is a good little thing, because obviously if you've physically run out of leisure battery for whatever reason and you need the 12-volt system on, you can change that over to the vehicle battery. Here we've got your waste level, and then here we've got your water level, external temperature, internal temperature. You've got your leisure currents, vehicle voltage, leisure voltage and time. Here we have your water pump. So on your water pump, you only want to turn this pump on when you have got water in your fresh water tank. Otherwise, you don't want to run the pump dry, because you could potentially obviously keep running the pump and it would just burn out the motor. Here we've got lights on and off for your habitation area. Obviously if I've switched off the master switch here, the lights won't automatically come back on unless I use these controls. And then the last one here is your awning / porch light externally. So this will tell you on or off. Here we have your controls for the drop down bed. So this on the left hand side is the rear bed, this on the right hand side is the front bed, and you have got a selector to move across as well. So I'm on the rear bed here. If I use this control here, as you can see, that bed is coming down. Like so. And if I want to use the front bed, obviously I just need to switch this controller over and I can use the control panel on the front bed. Here we have your thermostat for the Truma heating. So obviously when the Habitation's got up to temperature. This will sense that and knock it on and off. We've got obviously USB sockets here. We have got TV bracket in here. To release this, you pull this pin down and then it will slide across. Sorry, no. To release it, to slide, there's a little catch here. Pull this and that will slide. The little pin, sorry, you release this and that then swivels the TV around. So, like I said, this is a 5 travel seat. The 5th seat is under this bench here. So you need to remove these cushions, and then there's a fold away seat, which is controlled by this, which folds up, and then obviously you use them cushions which are in the garage to make up that seat. Down here we have your fuse box. So basically you've got your 12-volt fuses at the bottom. So that's anything on the 12-volt side in the Habitation. Could be your pump, it could be the lights, it could be the igniter on the stove. This is where all your 12-volt fuses are. So if one of them blows, this is where you need to check. And then above, the blue ones, that is obviously your 240 mains breaker. So obviously if something trips on the 240 side, you just need to check here. If nothing has tripped when you have plugged into mains hookup on here, just double check the site camp post, just because sometimes they trip on the camp post because they do reduce the power they give you. And one thing I forgot to show you, just so you know, it won't show you on here because I'm not plugged in, but if I plug into mains hookup, you will see a plug socket light up here. So that's obviously indicating you are connected to shore. Obviously, front drop down bed. Got your 2 travel seats here with your belts. We've got a few lights dotted about with USBs on there as well to charge. Kitchen area. So we have got obviously your kitchen tap. So say if we want to prime our water system. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've not got to your fresh water tank yet to show you how to put the bung in, but basically we want to fill up our fresh water system because we just got to campsite, and what we're going to do is make sure all the valves are shut in the motorhome. So we need to make sure the grey waste is shut, we need to make sure the fresh water tank is shut, and then we need to make sure the boiler valve is shut, which we'll get to in a minute. So you've got 3 valves you need to make sure are shut. Once they're shut, obviously you can fill up the fresh water tank completely full. Then now I want to prime my system, so I'm going to prime the water through the pipework on my boiler. So I'm going to go to the control panel, turn on the control panel, turn on the pump. Once I turn on the pump, what I need to do is go to my tap, put it on the cold side, open the tap. When I get a steady flow of water, that means obviously my cold side is primed, ready to use. Shut the tap, twist it to the hot side, open it on the hot side. And what that's going to do is going to take a minute or so longer. Reason for that, it's going to fill up your water in the boiler first. So your boiler holds around 10 litres of your fresh water, and then once your boiler is full, it will then come through the tap at a steady flow. Once you get a steady flow, you can turn the tap off and your full system is primed on your cold, pipework and hot. Obviously your hot water side you do need to turn on by this control panel here, your Trima control panel. And again, on the email you'll get a separate link just on this control panel how to use this. Obviously we've got storage all down here directly below the oven and grill. We've got some gas valves there, so they just are internal gas valves. So if one of the appliances goes faulty, you can isolate that appliance on gas and then obviously still use all the other appliances. Here we have a 4-ring burner. One's electric, which only works on mains hookup, so when you are connected at campsite on the 240 volt, and then obviously off grid or anything else is on obviously your 3-ring gas burner there. One safety advice we do recommend is just this glass cover here, just to keep this up after using the stove, just to let the stove cool down. The temperature difference, you could potentially shatter the glass, which obviously you don't want to do. And then obviously, like I said before, this is where the microwave is being fitted. Obviously there's a 240 mains plug socket up there, but your microwave, if you ever have one fitted, will only work on mains hookup as well. It doesn't work off your leisure battery. Here we have obviously your fridge freezer. So this is now a compressor fridge. To turn this on, just press and hold here and it will light up. And then we've got a few settings. So to change the temperature, just press and hold in the middle and it'll flash once, and now I can select my desired temperature. A lot of people, when they first turn it on, turn it all the way up just to get the fridge cooled down as fast as possible. And then obviously once you get it up to a nice temperature, you can put it halfway and it will maintain that temperature quite well. Here obviously we've got your freezer side of things, you can turn on and off, and obviously your temperature. And then the far right, press and hold again to flash once. I could turn on night mode. And what night mode is going to do is basically going to run the fan quieter at night. Obviously if you are a light sleeper, that is a good little feature to have on. To turn this off, just press and hold the power and then it will shut down completely. Next we've got your bathroom area, shower area. So obviously you've got your controls here for your shower, and then obviously you've got your basin tap there. So like I said, once you've primed your pipework system with a hot and cold water through one tap, it will just bleed through the rest of the taps. Here we have your toilet flush. So the blue button is your flush, which is going to use some fresh water from the tank. And then there's a little icon there, which looks like a toilet cassette. Basically this will light up orange/red when the cassette is full. So that is just giving you an indication, and then obviously empty it and it will reset once you've emptied it. Here is the grey handle to open and close the obviously toilet cassette blade when using. Obviously close it when finished, just to save any smells coming back up in the motorhome. Here we've got your rear lounge area. So you've got storage under that bench there and here, and then directly below this one here, as you can see, I've got this panel out, which this is going to be where your fresh water tank is. So the reason you need to come to here, one, to put this bung in. We have a bung here. So this bung is going to, obviously you need to put it in at the bottom of the tank. So your when you are filling up your fresh water tank, you can obviously, it's not going to drain directly out. Once you have finished motorhoming and you want to empty your motorhome from all the water, what you need to do is pull this bung out. I'd recommend getting hold, put your hand in, get your hold of the bung and pull the bung. Don't pull it by the chain because they are not the strongest and it could potentially snap. So then you still then need to put your hand in. I'll try and show you. There you go. So see that hole there? That is where the bung goes in. Obviously if the bung is not in there, then the water you are filling into your fresh water tank is obviously going to pour directly out. And then once you have done that, put the bung in or pulled it out to drain, is then just screw this cap on. So then obviously water's not going to come into the motorhome as well. So this is under this cover here, like so. Under this bench here, you've got your pull-out bed area, which creates obviously this full area into another bed. I think you might use one of these cushions, or you might have to buy an extra cushion for that dinette to berth. Under this bench here is going to be where your boiler is. You'll need access to this. The only reason being is your drain valve is under there for the boiler. I'll remove this cushion in a moment. This motorhome has been fitted with Wi-Fi. this switch here, we have fitted a power switch for the Wi-Fi. So if this is turned off, then obviously the Wi-Fi won't come on, and the Wi-Fi is in here. So like I said, if you know Wi-Fi, just check that the switch is on. And obviously if the switch is on and there's still no Wi-Fi, there's no power to it, just make sure that your 12 volt control panel is on, because that is obviously on the control panel as well. Here, this is that locker I was saying, which you can obviously get to externally, and then obviously your aerial is up there, and that is the control box there. That has got a switch on the control box as well to turn on, obviously if your control 12 volt system is on as well. We've got drop down beds on these on front and rear. I'll just show you on the rear one. It's hard to see, but this little hole here, up in this hole there is your bed motor. Basically, worst case scenario, if the bed fails, doesn't move, you can wind it up or down with, there is like a hex Allen key, which is in the pack. Now I'm just going to remove this cushion and I'll show you where the valve is for the boiler. So as you can see, I've removed the bench cushion to show you and give access to obviously the boiler. You have got potential some storage down here. Just be careful, because obviously them tubing there is obviously the tubing which is connected to all the vents for your heating. Down here obviously we've got your water pump, and then obviously here is your Truma boiler. So like I said, the main reason you need to get access down here is because of this yellow valve here. So basically this valve is your valve for the boiler. So if I want to drain my boiler, because I'm obviously using my motorhome now, I need to put it in this position. So the position you see this in the vertical position, that is actually draining all the water out of the boiler. To close this, all you need to do, knock it down, and that will then close. So when I'm filling up my system, my boiler, priming the taps, then obviously I need to make sure that this is down. If this valve is up and you are trying to prime your taps, the water will just pour straight out of the motorhome. So you need to make sure this valve is down, and then obviously you can fill up your boiler with all the water, because like I said, these boilers hold around 10 litres of water, and then obviously you've got hot water when obviously you need. So that is the instructional / overview video complete of the brand new 2025 Bailey Adamo XL DL. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call, and we can get hold of more of these motorhomes.